Hey, Lee Wolf here. We are live on this Game Face Monday. Hope everyone had a great weekend. As always, Mr. Richie Bello is sitting by my side, digitally at least. And today we have back a special guest. We've had him on the show before, but we're going to dig a little deeper with him today. It's Macario Alvarez, who is with USA Capital, and he's going to be talking to us today about an IRS-sanctioned savings plan that's saving businesses tens of thousands of dollars, and how you can jump on board if you're a business owner or you know one. How you guys doing?
Good.
Doing great. Thank you.
Awesome. As always, before we get rolling here on the show, just going to run a quick video from our sponsor, Shop Smart Autos.
We continue to show dealerships across the country how to retain their customers. But now Shop Smart Autos wants to bring the new customers right to your showroom floor. The car they want? It's sitting on your lot. And Shop Smart Autos can bring you the VIN-specific leads that take them straight to your door. These aren't just leads. They're nurtured, targeted, and matched down to the exact vehicle. You'll sell more cars faster, and your team is going to thank you for it. Shop Smart Autos VIN-specific leads. Let SSA show them the way to your showroom floor.
All right. So, Richie, actually, before we start digging deeper here with Macario, what's going on with Shop Smart lately with the lead situation? And
Oh yeah, so we revamped a new site. I have it in dev, but it'll be all done by Monday. Figure 4:00 in the morning, Eastern time. It's got a bunch of new tools. It's going to have AI. It's going to have a different type of search pattern because of the AI situation. And actually, that search, if you Google Shop Smart Autos after Monday, you're going to see a search bar right on Google. We actually got that sort of approved. So right there with that search, you're going to be able to put in a car there when you search the brand, and it'll search the car, and it'll drive you right into Shop Smart. It's like a new technology that there is, and it's going to be a whole different thing. We had to revamp this new search, and as far as the data, I still have the same type of data, and I want to talk about that. Why the partnership with it, Macario, is so great. It's really, really interesting what the problem is in the automotive sector. And also, I am moving to Georgia, just to let everybody know. There's an opportunity there that we've been on it for quite some time, and that opportunity is growing and coming together. There's going to be a mobile app launch, which is the same mobile app launch that I put in hiatus because it wasn't ready yet. So that new mobile app will be deployed next week with all the same that Shop Smart has, so you'll be able to go on there. The one thing that we're adding is you're in a dealership, okay? Let's say you're in a dealership and you want to see if you're getting a good price as a customer. You're going to take your mobile app and you're going to scan the VIN number. And it's going to show you within a 15-mile radius where that car is, like that car. It goes by the color, the miles, the make, and the year. So if you're looking at a Honda Accord 2020, right, and you're in Asbury Automotive, and they're hitting you with a car example for $25,000, you're going to be able to scan that VIN number, and it's going to pull all these other cars within that area for you to see if you're getting a good deal or not. So that's a new function that the app is going to have. So you're the consumer, you're out there shopping, and you want to know, is this going to be the right car or not? So what's going to do, it's going to help the lead generation as the customer's coming. And if the dealer made the appointment and the dealer is really doing the right thing by the customer, now that tool is going to make that customer convert. There's no, I got to think about it, I got to shop it. what happens? People go on and fill out a form to get a lead. They might go on looking for a truck. Okay. They have all the homework on that truck already. Done. All right. Now you make an appointment with them. They show up to the store. Now they change because of budgets. Oh, they didn't really like the truck. Oh, they wanted a bigger truck. Who knows?
Right.
Now there's no homework done on that model. So they're usually going to say, listen, I got to think about this and this, that. What they got to think about is doing the homework. They don't have to leave. You know, Mr. Jones, you can research that car with ShopSmart's mobile app. Boom. You scan it and it pulls in all the makes and all the models and all the feeds. And now you know this car is in 5 places right around less than $500 or $600 difference.
Wow.
Okay. So it's the whole idea is to get the leads to better convert.
Absolutely.
That's what we're doing. And, you know, and you're going to be able to scan a VIN number with the scanner, you know, boom. And now it's going to tell you, you yourself, you have your kids, your family that they go out, they want to make sure that the price is right. And now you can go to your marketplace in your local area and you're getting a good deal on that.
Right.
You know, the interesting thing is that what I've learned throughout the years on lead generation, a customer comes in on one kind of car, and the problem that there is with that is that they convert to another car. Okay. And now they don't have to go back and do homework on their computer, on this, that. They don't have to do it. It's right there. And they can see the stores that have, and that's what they're going to do when they go home. So the consumer's going to spend less time doing research and more time in your showroom trying to make a deal work.
Yeah.
Which that's what our goal is. About a couple of days ago, I posted something about the VIN retention tool. Right? Somebody put a comment on it that basically it's a great tool, but it's not about the data point because every VIN has a story behind it, right? And all that. But let me tell you where the problem is in the automotive sector. The problem is with the employee retention. All I'm doing is showing the data, right? And let me address this to David. That was the one that wrote this comment, and he's a great car guy. He's been in the car business as long as me, and he understands. But the whole point of the thing is you have the data. Now it's up to you, Mr. Dealer, to find a solution how we're going to retain this customer. The beautiful thing is the partnership with Mr. Mercadio here, Mr. Alvarez. I flew out to California. I was flying out there anyway. I went to his office. I met his team. I met all these things that he does. So what he brings to the table is the solution for the dealer to retain their employees.
Right.
You see, that's what the thing is. The problem is with retaining employees. You ask any dealership, whether it's Asbury, whether it's Larry Miller, let me ask you a question. How many salespeople you got? 20, Richie. I did this in Colorado, by the way, when I was there. Okay. On the average, how long has your sales department been here on an average? 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year? If I would have to guess, Richie, about 3 years or 4 years. Okay. Now you go to a different department, used cars. How long has you? Oh, my salespeople here sell used cars have been here 10 years. You had that same experience, right, Lee, when you worked in the car business?
Yeah.
At Zaslow, and every store is like that. So the retention in new cars is a problem that has a direct hit because people move from one place to the other. I mean, everybody knows that I have the data for the automotive business because of the directory. Well, I get that data freshly every 90 days, and you got to see the people that move around. You got to see the people that go. So this tool that we have now, thanks to US Capital, right? This is a game changer tool. In the perspective as retaining, do you think it is normal for you to be an automotive dealer and be 40 years in business and you're retaining 8%? And it's all new ads and new this. You're only retaining 8% of your customers.
It's terrible.
Do you think it's normal for you, to the private seller network, for you to lose 300 to 200 cars a year, let's say you're losing, and fixed ops? So these are things that this is why we partner up, because dealers got to start listening to this, okay? If you have a tool that can retain your employees, we know more or less how to retain up to a point customers. You take a dealership that's doing 11%, a couple of months, you'll be at 13 or 14%. We put BDC in, we put automation in, we put all these things. You hire Helms Technology, you hire Anthony Petrone, you hire this guy, he's going to retain some customers. But that's not a lot. They're going to move you with these CDPs and all that. They're only going to move you 1.5 or 3%. I've looked at the numbers. There ain't a lot. However, you keep that salesperson on there, and that customer gets an email or an SMS with that salesman's picture. Let's make that an appointment for your salesperson. That's a whole different game changer. Right? So now what the tool he's got is unbelievable. And I want him to explain clearly what a dealer can expect from it and how is that going to help them retain their employees, because that's what the problem is. David, I want you to pay attention to this, because David is a very big influence in the automotive sector in Chicago. There's major groups there. So I want to really get me to understand it so my audience understands it.
Yeah, go for take the stage, Macario.
Yeah, and I appreciate all that, and everything that you're speaking on, Richie, is definitely a pain that goes across the lines of most of these dealers. And so some of the aspects that we have in the program is not just specifically on retention, but also giving back to your employees, right? So there's a lot of things that are missed out that business owners don't even know that is allotted to them at virtually no out-of-pocket expense to them. So if we're just going to kind of focus back on what you're discussing, one of the benefits within the programs that we have is training, right? And so most people don't invest in themselves. And so what if your company invested in them? And so when you're able to apply some additional training that is part of this program, so there's no out-of-pocket expense for that, you can actually put these things into numbers. So an average ROI, companies investing in sales training report an average return of about 353%, equating to $4.53 for every dollar spent. So just think about those numbers. You can look at that, evaluate it, and put it forward. Performance gains, effective sales trainings can lead to 20% improvement and a 29% increase income per sales representative. So those are some big numbers. And so part of this is what comes along in our benefit program. Now, the benefit program at its core We call it a health efficiency plan, which is a zero net cost benefit program for employers plus employees. And so what that really means is that it is going to evaluate. We empower businesses with financial strategies to drive operational excellence, support employee well-being, and then long-term profitability. That profitability comes from, the numbers by supporting your sales team. Now, this is an IRS sanctioned program that is aimed to reducing FICA. FICA is very important. When we reduce FICA, we actually increase the profits of the company. We're also able to get additional indemnity plans that sit on top of major medical. And at its core, what this is a Section 11025 plan. If you are not familiar with these plans, these are sanctioned by the IRS and provided for U.S. companies. So every employer that is part of this program is set to save thousands, if not millions of dollars every year. Sometimes this also increases workers' comp savings. Employees get additional benefit because when we're able to reduce FICA, that gives a smaller exposure to taxes. And so with that, we're able to increase on average about $100 per month per employee. That's a net take home for them. In addition to that, the employer is able to save anywhere from about $500 to $800 per employee. The program is vetted and approved by carriers and available in all 50 states, plus its territories. And then just some of the benefits that are allotted to employers. So an average annual tax savings between $700 to $900 per employee. There is no out-of-pocket cost.
That's per employee per month or per year?
No, this is per employee per year.
Per year. Sorry. Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. So it's an annual tax savings.
Yeah, but per employee, that's tens of thousands of dollars usually.
Tens of thousands of dollars. So, the magic number is 1,000 employees. You get close to 1,000 employees, you're saving roughly about $1 million annually.
Holy cow.
So you guys can kind of do the math in there. And what we do is we offer a service. We'll go in, we'll evaluate the company, we'll do a census, we'll do all the presentations, and what it would take to set this up and how it benefits everybody. Our plan is HIPAA approved and compliant. It's fully insured. It decreases, financial burden on both the employer and the employee. The payroll and analytics, we report all of that stuff. We do all of the groundwork for that. And then in terms of employee benefits, the increase in net take home, obviously that's a great start. But we also have a hospital indemnity plan. This is working through the hospital, through your carriers. In addition to that, prescription medication. Generally speaking, you're not paying any out-of-pocket expense for any prescription for any amount. Obviously, we talked about the wellness plan that goes into the coaching. So it's not just based on personal development, but it also is based on performance development. We have critical illness plans. There's a 24-hour telehealth medicine program. And so this is, I forget what the number is, but I want to say it's about 90% of all urgent care visits can be done over the phone. And so this is a huge plan. They also work with behavioral health benefits. So, we can call in, you have 24 access to it. We do a health risk assessment, accident plan, and then to top it off, no out-of-pocket expense for the employee. Let me see here.
Wow.
So those are some of the major aspects of the program that we run. And like I said, there's no expectations, there's no obligations. We will go in, we'll evaluate the company. Once everything is set up, we do all the administrating, we do all the payroll, we take care of everything. There's no additional work to HR, there's no additional work to any of the higher ups. And then most importantly, we keep everything compliant. So right now we're holding on to about a 97% retention. And that is because we do all the administration, we do all the compliance, we do the follow-up, and there's no additional work that is put onto the employer. A lot of times people are afraid to get into these positions because they think that they're losing some type of, not control, but the certain aspects of it. And so what we're able to do is we don't work against you, we work with you and for you, and we're able to keep all the plans open.
Right. So yeah, and it says there's no need to change providers. So
Correct.
This is just almost something, it's almost like it amps up your current situation, really. It's like you're plugging in the juice.
Correct.
Like
We
I don't understand why
describe it
people don't do it.
as an indemnity that sits on top of your major medical.
Right.
And so it's giving a bonus benefits to what you already currently have. So there's no need to change your program. We're not doing anything to make any adjustments to it. All we're simply doing is modifying and enhancing is probably the better word for it, the program that you have. And it has benefits throughout the organization. So specifically, obviously, it goes into tax savings for the employer, and then it increases net take-home pay, plus all the benefits that it provides on top of everything else.
Yeah, talk about retention.
Now, here's what the thing is that I like about this, and there's a lot of ways to retain your employees. When I walk into a dealership, there's something called, that dealership is on the spiral down, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a term used by the OEMs. And that dealership is on the spiral up. What happens when it's on the spiral down? When it's on the spiral down, it only means a couple of things. It means lack of training, lack of enthusiasm, right? Like any business person. When there's lack of enthusiasm, lack of training, and sometimes you got to change your environment or whatever, and that's what happens, right? So the average dealership in the United States, right, by the labor department, has an average of 110 employees. Okay. Now you take 110 employees times 700, is that correct?
Correct. You could, yes, 700.
Okay. So you take 700, so how much money is that?
About 70 grand, that would be right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
$70,000. Okay. Now, you put that for your employees on a 3-year multiple. You make that investment for them, 3 or 5 year multiple. That's one way you're going to retain employees. Okay. The other way you're going to retain employees is by training and enthusiasm, because you're always getting into the new opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, 70,000 a year, okay, they can put a tremendous program and hire a financial planner, a company, for that money to make money for the employees, right? At the end of the day, because it's good the money that me as the dealer is going to generate from that product. But what's even better is that I'm able to have an employee retention program funded by the government, by what the government gives me as an owner. Okay. Now, that's a very important thing, because NADA's numbers are, maybe it was 10, 25 years ago, each salesman. Now today's maybe 12 or 13. Listen to this, 12 or 13. Okay. That's when you're retaining employees. Now that's going to scale to 15 or 18.
Mm-hmm.
Always take the low end number, and take that low end number and go for a year, 4 more cars times 12. What's the gross? And now go by a 5-year multiple. That is a tremendous number when you really start looking at it as an investor / financial guy. Tremendous. That number's a game changer. So the problem that there is in the automotive sector is we're not retaining enough employees. Well, let's look at the why that is. Let's take a deep dive and let's get under the hood. Why was the loyalty program 25 years ago, 30 years ago was great? Because you had great retention. But what changed? What happened to our industry? Well, a couple of things happened. The rebates came out. That made everybody go to different places and shotgun cars all over the place. The OEMs killed the loyalty program, was you bring in your old registration, and if it's a lease, sign and drive, right? So if you're getting another car, that's it. So all these kinds of things. But really what happened is new car salespeople that were 25 years ago don't even come remotely close to the kind of money that they used to make or to what they make now. Not happening unless you got to sell 4 or 5 used cars. Not happening.
Right.
All right. So now what we have here is we have the data points, like the conversation was about the post. We have the process. We have the real core to the problem is employee retention. You cannot retain any customers if you don't have employee retention first. And the stores that have that employee retention, like I take right now, Smithtown, Mercedes-Benz, I can run that store 74-75% retention. Why? Because when you ask the owner there, let me ask you a question. Your average salesperson here. My average salesperson here retires. Okay? His average salesperson retires. His service manager just retired, 34 years there. 34 years. Stores like that have 74% retention.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you go to that store, you're always going to see your salesman or your service department or whatever. And what we bring to the table is the data, yes. It's the training, yes, you know. And now we're some sort of a development phase on AI agents, which I posted some videos out on LinkedIn. What that's going to help your retention. But what's really going to help your retention is invest in your employees. And we're not saying for you to take your own money. The average store has 120 people. Right there, you're talking about there's a lot of things you can do with $70,000 or $80,000 a year. Okay, as a dealer for their employees, there's a lot of programs in a very, very big way. And this is why you're losing a lot of deals and you're losing a lot of opportunities. And that's why all these other things like Full Path and all these technologies have come in. But that's great technology, by the way, that you're following up people, CDPs, customer data platforms. Yes. But you're spending with these people thousands, 30, 40 a month, 50,000. That ain't going to get your numbers to where you want them.
Right.
Because those numbers are 2 to 5%, guys. 2 to 5%. By you following up, you're only going to get 2 to 5% more business, which is a lot.
Right.
But if you want to really attack where the problem is, and everybody's talking about it, whether it's on social media, whether it's in person, whether it's door to door, everybody's talking about it. Okay? That there's a big problem in our industry. And that's the problem. The problem is you're not going to get to that kind of retention if you don't retain your employees.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not going to
And
work.
that goes with all industries, really. I mean, I don't want to show up at my dentist office and have a new person every single time in my mouth, not the person that I feel at least did a good job last time and it's
Right.
comfortable. Sometimes they switch, but no matter where I go, though, if they change chefs in the restaurant constantly,
Right.
the food's going to change. It's like totally, no matter what industry you're in. Yeah, there's that comfort, and you're going to see your person. Yeah, retention is everything. Actually, I'm just going to break away for 1 minute with JP on a retention minute. Be right back.
3 silent killers of retention at your dealership. You want to know what's quietly costing your dealership thousands every month? Number 1, no post-sale contact strategy. You make the sale, then ghost the customer until a trade cycle or service interval. Too late. Number 2, disconnected departments, sales, service, finance, all running different plays with no coordination. Number 3, generic messaging. It's time for service. Does not cut it anymore. Your customers want personalized value, not automated noise. The fix? A retention platform that unifies the entire customer journey. Finance, service, warranty, even accessories, and keeps customers engaged long after they drive off the lot. Now, guys, most dealers miss this. Don't be most dealers. I'm JP with Vinsight. You sell them, we keep them coming back.
All right. So, Macario, I know you were a little short on time, and as am I. I know we're both going to be on the run soon, but I just wanted to ask you. So, the initial step, the assessment. How should people reach out first? Whether it was through that, we have the email address was on the bottom of the screen there for a while. I could pop that back up, and then. Should they go to a website, and then what kind of time frame do you put out there to people to get the ball rolling?
Yeah, so the process is we do the initial assessments. That generally is taken care of in about 7 to 10 days. Implementation generally is about, let's say, 4 to 5 weeks. And once everything is approved and ready to go and accepted, you would see that on your next billing cycle, your next payroll cycle.
Right.
So it happens very, very quickly. Obviously, it depends on the organization and how complex and how many departments and how many different individuals that we do put on the plan. But generally speaking, it can move along pretty quickly. And you would see those savings pretty much instantly. So that's a great portion right there. And I just wanted to also speak on what Richie was talking about in terms of retentions and training. The programs that we have trainings, this isn't some just generic training. This is through Zig Ziglar's coaching. So Renowned Coaching, you guys can look them up. I'm sure you guys know exactly what that program is.
Yeah.
In addition to that, I remember getting, my first few jobs as a young man, and the first question always to me is, what kind of benefits do they have? It wasn't how much I was making. It wasn't how much I was working. It was, what do they offer you? Right. My parents definitely understood, they're both county workers, and looking back on the benefits that they don't have benefits like that anymore. Right. My mother makes, I think, 95% of her salary in her retirement, which is huge. And my father is something very, very close to that. We have programs here that reinvest into your workforce. You're not rewarded by a pizza party. You're not rewarded by being the top person on that list. You're rewarded in monetary aspect, in health benefits, work-life balance, security. We all know that there are huge benefits. And this is an opportunity for employers to really utilize these programs that are set up specifically for them. So very, very powerful stuff. Like I said, we have a 97% retention. And so this is a very, very powerful tool. It will elevate any business not just for the business owner, not just for the employee, but as a business, as an entity itself. So very, very positive, very, very impactful, very, very needed program.
And forgive me if this is a lame brain question, because I'm no expert in this world, but if an individual person wanted to take advantage of any pieces of this puzzle, can individuals do that, or it has to go through a business from the top down?
Correct. So this would have to go through a business because this is a sponsored going through FICA. And so if you're self-employed, there's going to be different avenues of having this, but it really has more beneficial plans the larger the organization. Gotcha. So you can definitely have some things. And to let you know, our smallest number that we need is 10 employees, right? Okay. 10 employees, and we're able to offer you a product that is very, very competitive. Right now, the stats show us that businesses that are in that 100 count are guaranteed we're able to provide a very competitive product for you. And so it's basically a no-brainer when we get into those numbers. The smaller it is, it's a little bit harder to really show things because obviously we want things to accumulate. And right. So with smaller numbers, it doesn't accumulate as fast as it does when you have larger numbers.
Okay. All right. And email address good enough, or should they catch you somewhere else too?
Yeah, email is great. I do have a new number, but I'll just give you guys my cell number. So that's 408-661-3867. And I'm happy to field any calls.
Awesome. Richie, anything else to add here?
Yeah, before I leave, I just want to say something. Per each new car sold in the United States, there's 4 used cars. It was always 2.5.
It's a major shift.
And that's since 2023. I looked at this report quickly for 2024 because the report is a year behind, for that reason, because, I can't come up with those numbers. But in 2024, the new report is out. I'm going to be pulling that late tonight. It's 5.1. Okay. What does that mean? That means that the customers are buying used cars because the pricing of new cars is crazy right now, right? For whatever reason it is. Steel's up, aluminum's up, a few little things are up, but that's not really the game changer. The game changer has a lot to do because of the value of things, why they're going up because of the dollar. That's where the problem is. So that being said, we got to pay attention to something important. Customers are going to need more service business. Just understand 1,400 is an average a year. That includes new cars and used cars. The average used car being bought has 38 to 40,000. That means it's out of warranty. Okay. That means that first year you're going to spend $2,000 on that car in reconditioning. It's a very important thing for the VIN retention, for what JP does, and it's a very important thing for what we do here, and it's a very important thing for capital, for U.S. Capital. Why? USA Capital, why is it important? Because now you're going to start making more money in service. You're going to start making more money in parts. And now you're going to be able to retain more business. Now you got to really focus on retaining more employees.
Right.
That's what you got to focus on.
You got to give them something they don't want to walk away from.
Yeah, because now the fixed operations is growing at such a speed that it hasn't been growing like that. That's why there's so many trainers that are fix ops and all this stuff, and fix ops is everywhere. This is why. Because the market is saying that, and with what we have here and what we talked about today, now you need more than ever to retain your employees. You need to retain them all. you need to retain them in service and sales and in parts and all that. So it's a big opportunity as the car business is scaling, and there's a lot of data that's coming in, and we're seeing the trend of what's going on, which is a key component right now. Retain your employees. You have a solution right now to do that, because $70,000 a year that you're getting when you have 120 employees, let's say, right?
Yeah, even more than, if I had 120 employees, it's even more. Yeah.
Okay, so let's say you got 80 grand or 90 grand. That's 80 or 90 grand that you can invest in your employees, whether it's training with whatever it is. And now you're going to be able to scale and grow and do the right things by your people. Dealers are not bad. The problem is dealers don't have that kind of resources to keep it going. Now they could, and with this tax savings that they have. And I think it's a great thing that that's happening, because dealers need to save every time they can save $1, they need it.
Yeah.
Because the cost of things is just like business. The cost of things is just getting up. Like ourselves, we see our cloud server going up. We see our Linux servers going up. I mean, we see all the things going up, and they keep going up and going up. It's nice to have some sort of savings, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Macario, would you mind just giving that phone number one more time?
Yeah, it's 408-661-3867.
Awesome. And his email address has been at the bottom of the screen there. Thank you so much for being on the show today. Very
appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a plan that at least should be looked into by everyone, especially if you have more than 10 people working for you. So
yeah,
definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Richie, good luck with the situation in the South. And yeah, thanks for having me on the show with you.
Thank you, buddy. Take care, and see you soon, buddy.
I thought you were going to say brush your hair.
No, I'm not going to say that.
All right. Have a good one.
Take care.
All right, see you guys.